Many lives and homes have been destroyed because of gambling addiction. Furthermore, people cannot tell the difference between legal and illegal gambling. As illegal gambling is growing in South Africa, this is becoming concerning from an addiction perspective. Welcome to Ask Dudu. I'm Dudu Nhlabathi-Madonsela, a relationship and life coach. So, Marcus, when did your family find out that you have a problem?
I guess it was when I'm supposed to finish my matric exam. That's where they literally find out that Marcus is onto something and it's very, really bad.
And how did they find out?
It was as in today. I was writing my last paper tomorrow. So just because addiction is addiction, you can't overcome it.
Yes.
So I was tempted to go and gamble.
Okay.
And tomorrow I'm supposed to write. Imagine. So I decided to go and gamble the whole night.
The whole night?
The whole night, up until 6 a.m. in the morning. And I'm writing about 9 o'clock.
And what subject were you writing?
I was writing about 9, like English, paper 3.
Okay, so
it was my last paper.
Really concentrate.
Yeah, it was my last paper. So I came back in the morning. Then she asked, Marcus, where are you from? I was like, I made silly excuses. And then she found out later on. So, and she did really...
I'm assuming you passed your matric because
Yes, I did.
You're in tertiary now.
Yes, I did, but I didn't pass the way I wanted to. Just because there were barriers and all the stuff. Actually, the addiction was the barrier. Just because I couldn't focus much on my studies. Like each and every time I want to study, like I would like to gamble. Or someone would call me and be like, oh, we're playing. Why don't you come around? And I'll be like, I was tempted a bit.
But because you've now overcome the addiction, how is the trust level like in your family? Do they still trust you?
Yeah, they really trust me. Like by the time I was gambling, like no one could barely trust me. Like I was like, if maybe she was like, can you go to the store for me? I wouldn't come back. I would make sure that I gamble, like triple it.
The money that you
Yeah, like I would like make money out of that money. And by that time I lose and I don't come back home.
I'd like to hear more about your story.
Yeah.
So can you go into studio and I'll follow you and
Okay.
we'll have a chat about this.
No problem.
Marcus, now that we're in studio, maybe can you tell us at what age did you start gambling?
Well, I started at the age of 14. I was very young.
Gambling with what at 14? What money?
Like, it was complicated. It was complicated.
Tell us about this complication.
Oh, like, here's the thing. The thing that triggered me to be a gambler or an addict at the end of the day is just that I was raised by a single mother. And the painful part is that my father isn't dead. Do you imagine?
He's alive.
He's alive. And he was working well by that time. He had everything, like...
But he was neglecting you.
He was neglecting me. So at the end of the day, like, I had that pressure. I felt it inside me. I was like, this man doesn't want me. Just because he was living the other side and my mom and I was living the other side with my brother. So I decided to be like, no, man, let me try something of my own. Like, let me provide something by myself so that I don't bother him anymore. Just because I can tell you, since I was born, I don't know how to even pronounce the word dead. Like, that's so sad. And for someone who's alive, it's very depressing. So it will reach a time whereby I would like to, like, I want clothes for Christmas. My mom could sacrifice all her money. I could really see that she did spend her last money on me. And only to find out that maybe she bought two clothes. Like, it's not enough.
But she tried her best.
She tried her best. And I was like, I'm pressurizing this woman for real.
So did you go out and say, I'm going to start gambling, or you were introduced by
No,
friends? Where did you know where to start?
Like, I started as if I was playing. Like,
And what type of gambling was that?
It was illegal.
What type?
Like, we were playing dice.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That age, like, this is one of the, I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I started gambling. Everything was going according to plan at the beginning.
Because you were making a bit of money.
I was making a bit of money, and I was wise by that time. I could maybe, if I accumulate something, buy something for myself.
Yeah.
You imagine, like, it was good. So, but when time goes on, I started losing. So that's where the problem came in.
Just on that, Brian, so he speaks about, and I guess it's the easiest form to start gambling, especially at the age that he was at, but he speaks about illegal gambling. Do people know the difference between what is legal and illegal gambling?
Dudu, I don't think the majority of the public are aware. We do, through various entities besides ourselves, try to ensure that throughout the year there's education and awareness campaigns to allow people to make the informed choice that they have to make. But particularly in lower income areas, they tend to be targeted by unscrupulous operators who know that what they're offering is illegal, but have no intention of going through the onerous process of obtaining a license and a costly process as well. So they would just be able to, or choose to offer gambling to people. And the root cause of the problem there is that it's an awareness, or it's an understanding or misunderstanding that a lot of people have, that gambling can supplement your income or provide a form of income, which is what Marcus is articulating. A lot of people labor under this misconception that through gambling, you can make more than you went in with.
Yes.
And just by, if you think about it, just the very concept that if every punter went in and walked out with more money, the industry would collapse.
Exactly.
It's not designed that way for everyone to benefit.
So you're saying it's the lack of knowledge and illiteracy.
It's shall I say, just the idea that when you hear people talk about a winning, people are tempted to say, I want to be one of those winners.
Yes.
It's similar to the lotteries. You hear the stories. There's so much. Someone has won a car, won this, won that. Their lives were improved in chance, in a moment of chance. And you are thinking, that could be me. Let me just try one more time. I could win. It might be just 5 rand, but I could win big. Because all I need is one chance, one lucky chance. And then you try again and again. And sometimes you do win a little. And through that winning, you feel that your suspicion was correct, that you can make money. And then you end up losing a lot more by going there.
A lot more money, right.
That's really how people end up going there, with that misunderstanding and not caring whether it's legal or illegal, as long as they can make some money. But in terms of whether they are aware or not, there is a difference between what's legal and illegal.
Addiction is not something that's easy to overcome. And Marcus, maybe can you tell us, how did it gradually now increase into other forms of gambling?
Oh, the thing is, you like to explore more and more and be like, if my luck is not this side, maybe I can try this other side. And by that time, you don't realize that you are still wasting more and more money on something that doesn't maybe generate an income at the end of the day, just because you are in it for money. And at the end of the day, you are losing. And when you are losing, it's something on its own.
So now you were playing dice, and what else were you doing now?
No, like, it came to a point whereby dice I was playing at home. And then it came to a point whereby I applied to the Tshwane University of Technology.
Yes.
So I got introduced to my uncle. My uncle plays a lot of numbers, lucky numbers.
Okay.
So I didn't know about that at all. And he used to accumulate something out of it. And I was like, oh, it means I was being blindfolded all this time. I can make money out of this too. Not knowing that it is the same as the one I was doing. And this one it's really more dangerous.
So, Ryan, I know the gambling board is an oversight board. And probably some of these cases or stories with regards to people gambling their lives away, you often hear. Is there a specific profile of a person who's more likely to be addicted to gambling?
There isn't any specific profile you could say this person is maybe born or has an inherent propensity towards gambling. Largely, it will be influenced by social factors, but there is a distinction between in problem gambling between an addictive or a problem gambler, person who generally with problem gambling, it's when a person is aware that gambling is now having a negative impact. For example, they are finding themselves in financial difficulty, like Marcus has explained, but continue to do it. Once they are aware of it but can't stop themselves, they've now become a problem gambler. But you'll also have a category of your compulsive gambler who has a psychological disorder that can lead them into an addiction. So that's a different
gambling
category.
becomes an outlet or a coping mechanism.
Well, yes, it will be, but it's a small number of people, and it's responding to a psychological issue that they already have, or a weakness that the gambling is now is how they are using or compensating from. But there's research done by the South African Responsible Gambling Foundation, 2009, that over an estimate of people who gamble in the country, and at that point, it was estimated that approximately half of our population do not gamble at all. They don't participate in lotteries or anything. They're just not interested in gambling. Then of the remainder, 45.8% were people who would be your recreational gamblers, who are our target, the people who we want to support the industry. They gamble, but they are responsible. They do it within control. Yeah. And then you'll get 2.7% are the ones who have developed a problem. Mm-hmm. And 1.5% are people who would actually have the psychological disorder that you can assess clinically and have a compulsive addiction towards gambling. So it's quite a small number. Yeah. And it's hard to tell when you look at people from a distance or before they start gambling who will end up developing a problem. Largely, it will be influenced by social factors, like in Marcus's case. There were certain triggers that led him to touch into it, and it then grew into a problem. But it largely is social.
So I know that, when I see, it's like the alcohol industry, there's a requirement to communicate with your customers that gambling is addictive. As an oversight board, is it your responsibility to make sure that all the gambling houses advertise that and advocate that, or is it the responsibility of the license holder to do so?
I'll just quickly run through the legislative framework in South Africa. There's a national act. The National Gambling Act is the one that empowers us, and it sets the tone for the gambling industry, the regulated gambling industry. So that's at national level. And then it has corresponding regulations. So those regulations are then put in place to say exactly how licensing must happen, what operators must do, and then licensing is done at provincial level. And operators then get licenses under certain conditions. So at national level, among the conditions for licensees, they have to include advertisements that indicate specifically, for example, gambling is illegal for people under 18. Mm-hmm. To put the South African Gambling Foundation's message and number in their adverts, in all adverts. So whenever you see a licensed operator advertising, you will always see that the message that you must gamble responsibly, and the toll-free number, 24-hour, 24/7 availability number. The number is 0800 006 008. That number has to be promoted all the time for anyone who might either have a problem or suspect they have a problem to immediately go and get help. So it is a requirement, and there are other advertising conditions and restrictions of them advertising and trying to encourage people to not make it too appealing and popular, so that there is a balance and some responsibility.
But it seems like, Marcus, you were able to do it on your own. How did you do it?
I just decided on myself. I was like, this is not the life I'm supposed to live. Because...
And at what age? You're 24 now. So...
Yeah, I'm 24 now.
So at what age did you decide this?
I decided this about, I can say maybe 3 years ago. Okay. And I decided, I was like, no, this is not the life I'm supposed to live. Because at the end of the day, I'm always broke. Even if I get something, it always vanishes. I don't see where it goes. And one thing you should know as an addict, you'll never have anything to yourself. if you have something, you'll have to sell it and then support the addiction. Like, it's something on its own.
So it's
like,
actually similar to a drug addict where you're just giving away stuff so that you can just
so that
get
you
your
can,
next shot.
At the end of the day, you want to play. It doesn't matter how you got the money. You know, imagine if if I was the breadwinner, people were going to suffer.
And how did you earn the trust back from your family? Like you said, they used to give you money and then you just going to gamble out the money
Like,
and come back when the
they
money
saw
is
that
finished.
Marcus is no longer into something like this. I told them, I was like, I'm quitting the stuff. Like, I don't want to see myself going there again, just because it tormented me indeed. Like, the life I was living, it was heavy on me. Like, even though I sleep at night, I'll be thinking, where will I get the money tomorrow? Who will I rob?
And did you have to change your lifestyle? Did you have to change friends, where you hang out?
Yeah, actually.
Because I know with most addictions, sometimes your lifestyle can be trigger points.
Yeah, I did change that. Like,
and how was that received by your friends?
I got them very angry. Like, he was like, Marcus is no longer with us. You know, Marcus is this and this and that. But at the end of the day, it was for my own good.
And it seems like you did a whole lot of illegal gambling, right?
Yes.
Was there any point where you felt unsafe?
Yes. You know, if I can tell you, you'll be like, this kid was something else. People bring guns there. I mean, knives, scary things.
And you still went back, Marcus?
You know, if you're addicted, you're addicted.
You're addicted, I react.
You know, yeah, like, people bring scary things there. And sometimes people don't even live with their winnings, as he elaborated. You'll be like, you win now and be like, you're not going with my money.
So you have to spend it back?
Yeah, you have to give it back. It doesn't matter. If you don't give it back, then they'll beat you. So that you can give them back their money. Just because some people, they just can't deal with the feeling that they lost. You know, they always want to win. And they use something so that they can accumulate back the money you want.
And Brian, speaking of the illegal gambling, what's the difference between illegal and legal gambling? And how does a person tell the difference apart?
Okay, so in our country, there are 4 modes. We call them modes, 4 modes of gambling that are legal. They are primarily the casinos, so we know casino gambling. And then you get your bookmaking, which is where you take bets on sporting events and horse racing, things like that. And then you get bingo. There's 2 types of bingo, which is your traditional, where you'll have this big room with tables and people will call out numbers and they put up these cards. And then you get your limited payout machines, which pay a maximum of 500 Rand winning per game. And these are found typically at taverns, bars, restaurants. They'll normally be at the back. So these 4 modes are the licensed modes. And as long as there is a license displayed on a wall that shows that they have a license to offer that, it's a licensed operator. Everything outside of those would not be legal. So a common example for people, obviously in the township areas, informal areas, you'll get your dice, you'll get Fafi, you'll get those type of...
Fafi's in China, ne?
In China, yes.
Okay.
You'll get those type of games.
I didn't know it was illegal.
No. The problem is because you see it happening so openly, your gut feeling will be that this can't be wrong. When you move into a more affluent area, a common problem that's been growing is where now using with the age of technology, you will have at shopping centers these places that are called internet lounges. They'll usually have strong security at the entrance. They're open 24 hours. There'll usually be nice lighting and things there. But the walls the glass is usually all covered with pictures, so you can't look in. And when you go in, there are computer terminals, and you pay at a cashier. You get allocated a terminal, and you play, and you then be effectively in a casino, but at a computer terminal. That is illegal. Okay. That type of gambling is not legal in this country. Now, people see it so openly in a shopping center where they live. They won't think this is an illegal activity so blatantly being conducted. So they go in, and then they'll be exposed to similar risk as what Marcus is saying, where you are in a place where there's no safety and protection for you as a gambler.
So you
can't have recourse if they refuse to pay you. If you're having a problem, you might be embarrassed to tell people, I need help because I know I'm gambling illegally. So that is why it's so important for people to be educated about the difference and know that with the licensed operators, they are more responsible, and they will, for example, never have let him in under the age of 18, right? And then there are other protections that you will get. And you can complain if they don't treat you well because it's regulated. And it's always important for people to stay within the regulated zone.
And what advice would you give somebody who's sitting at home in terms of gambling and addiction? Like, if somebody wants to take away from this, how do I become a responsible gambler?
I think the first, it's where I started off, the first and most important thing is that the reason we have gambling permitted is that it is a form of recreation. We enable the gambling industry to exist so that people can benefit from the entertainment it offers. The gambling industry provides for jobs. There's 35,000 direct jobs that is created in this country. In the last year, revenue is generally around 31 to 32 billion. So it contributes to the economy of this country. There's nothing bad about it. But at the same time, it does come with certain risks, social risks.
And it's just like consuming alcohol
exactly.
And taking
So the
cigarettes.
message I would tell that I want people to take away is that anyone can develop an addiction if you do not approach it with the right mindset, that this is not something you should be doing too often. You should not be putting more of the money that you can afford to spend. The money you spend gambling must always be money you didn't need. It was not going to be for school fees. It was not going to be for groceries. It was not going to be for anything you needed. Once you are in that space, you have a problem.
So, Marcus, what advice would you give a young boy out there who finds themselves in a similar situation than you? I'll
be like, don't do
it.
Yeah, like don't do what I did. Because at some point, suicidal thoughts were there. Mm-hmm. Just because it was pressure on top of pressure. Mm-hmm. I don't have someone like a father. I'm losing, it's dual now, it's double.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'd rather say don't do it.
There is no face for gambling addiction. So when you're sitting back home, you'll never know whether you could be the type of person who could be addicted or not. As Brian, our expert, said, and also Marcus said, gambling is for entertainment, but you have to know the dangers and the risks that come with it. Educate yourself. Also understand your triggers and also understand why is it that you keep on going to a habit that might be harming you. Until we see each other next week, I'm Dudu Nhlabathi-Madonsela.